Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Aside from their tiny size and ubiquity, what stands out about tardigrades is their durability. Fossils of some of the terrestrial species have been dated to more than 500 million years ago. This means they survived 5 mass extinctions and can withstand extreme temperatures, pressure, dehydration, and environmental toxins that other animals cannot. Please continue watching to find out more.
Hello, pleasant viewers. I'm Lucas, a vegan Caribbean spiny lobster from the fascinating Caribbean island of St. Eustatius. The animals and people in my part of the world wish for you to always be in touch with God's gracious guidance. Welcome to our show entitled Secrets of Longevity in Animals, Part 2 of 2. In the previous episode, we introduced to you the concept of biological immortality and talked about several animals with huge lifespans ranging from 100 to 512 years. In today's show, we will discuss 4 animals that are also extraordinary in terms of their ability to survive. First, have you ever heard of a tardigrade? This is a microscopic animal found just about everywhere on Earth. Of the 1,000 species that have been identified, about 600 are terrestrial, living in the dampness of moss, lichen, decaying leaves or soil. Another 300 species are ocean-based, and the remaining 100 stay in fresh water. They are also known as water bears, which comes from the way they walk. Tardigrades take it nice and easy, lumbering around their habitat as bears do, except that they are only about half a millimeter in length. Their bodies are usually plump, and they walk on 8 stubby legs fitted with claws. Aside from their tiny size and ubiquity, what stands out about tardigrades is their durability. Fossils of some of the terrestrial species have been dated to more than 500 million years ago. This means they survived 5 mass extinctions and can withstand extreme temperatures, pressure, dehydration, and environmental toxins that other animals cannot. What is more, tardigrades were sent to the International Space Station in May 2011. Scientists concluded that the animals were not significantly affected by either microgravity or cosmic radiation. The physiological response that enables tardigrades to be so tough is called cryptobiosis. It is a reversible suspension of metabolism that is achieved by different means, depending on the circumstances. The most common way is for tardigrades to slowly dry themselves out. They release up to 97% of their body moisture, then retract their head and legs to curl up into a ball. In this state, metabolic activity is almost undetectable and the tardigrade can survive just about anything for years. However, contact with external moisture will cause the animal to rehydrate and resume their former life. Researchers would love to know more about cryptobiosis as a means to making interplanetary travel feasible for humans someday. A 100 years seems like a long time, but it is a blip in the life of the glass sponge. In 1986, scientists from the Max Planck Institute in Germany discovered the skeleton of a glass sponge that lived in the East China Sea for 11,000 years. The being was 2 meters long and 1 meter thick when alive. Let's learn more about these hardy beings from our friends at Animal Fact Files.
Glass sponges are sea sponges, but they're different from other sponges in how their bodies are built. I may sound like a Captain Obvious here, but as the common name implies, glass sponges are made of silica, and they form rigid skeletons that can encourage the growth of deep underwater communities much in the same way coral reefs do in shallow waters. Like other sea sponges, glass sponges are filter feeders, but they have the unique ability to conduct electrical currents even though they don't have nerves. When a glass sponge is touched, such as by a large cloud of sand kicked up by a passing animal, it is able to respond to the touch of the sand by turning off the water filtering in that part of its body to help ensure its pores don't become clogged with sand.
We're going to pause for a brief intermission and positive message. Please stay with us here on Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to our program, Secrets of Longevity in Animals, Part 2 of 2, on Supreme Master Television. Let's now move on to another amazing water dweller. According to Greek mythology, the Hydra was a serpent-like monster with many heads. If one of the heads became severed, two more would grow back in its place. With a nod to the being's regenerative ability, a very small freshwater invertebrate was given the same name. If a 10mm hydra is injured and split into two, each half will replace the missing part and become an entire organism in only a few days. Additionally, hydras do not show signs of aging and probably could live forever, under the right circumstances. Can you guess what the key to Hydra's immortality is? If you said stem cells, you're right. Biologists have discovered that hydras have an endless supply of 3 types of stem cells. These cells are biological raw materials, capable of continuous division and differentiation into any type of cell needed. But stem cells alone do not tell the whole story. Humans have stem cells too, but as people get older, their stem cells lose the ability to regenerate aging tissue. Researchers wanted to know if there is a way to inhibit the aging process and help seniors feel better as they live longer. So the Hydra, an animal whose stem cells do not stop functioning, became the subject of many studies. Eventually, scientists isolated the Hydra's stem cells, screened all of their genes, and were surprised to find proof of a direct link between aging and a gene called FOXO. In hydras, the gene plays a crucial role in maintaining not only the stem cells but also the immune system. Humans have 4 FOXO genes, and FOXO3 has been shown to influence longevity in individuals older than 95 years of age. So, although many questions remain, some researchers are hopeful that in the future people will be able to emulate the forever youth of the hydras. Turritopsis dohrnii is a species of small jellyfish. When threatened by environmental stress or injured, they can revert to their infancy and start over again. They undergo a process called cellular transdifferentiation, by which one type of cell is converted into another. The animal is commonly called the immortal jellyfish, and biologists are still trying to unravel how they reverse aging. At Kyoto University's Seto Marine Biological Laboratory in Wakayama, Japan, Dr. Shin Kubota has dedicated his life to understanding how jellyfish rejuvenate themselves. There are 2 main stages of life for this jellyfish, polyp and medusa. A polyp is fixed in one place and looks like a tiny tree with long thin branches that form buds. When the buds swell, they produce free-swimming medusas, bell-shaped domes with dangling tentacles. Medusas are most often translucent white and what lay people recognize as jellyfish. His motivation can be traced back to high school, when he first read Charles Darwin's On the Origin of Species. Dr. Kubota was then already curious about where human beings came from and was fascinated by the phylogenetic or evolutionary tree illustration in the book. On Darwin's Tree of Life, mammals and birds are at the top, and the most primitive organisms are at the bottom. Dr. Kubota is convinced that the mysteries of life and immortality will be found at the root of the tree in the jellyfish. The biologist has learned many things about Turritopsis dohrnii. For instance, he knows that certain conditions have to be met for rejuvenation to occur. The jellyfish needs a supply of food, the dome of the medusa should not be too large, and they prefer water that is warmer than 22 degrees Celsius. Dr. Kubota also has a theory that the secret of the animal's immortality is hidden in their tentacles. But as close as he may be to solving that mystery, he is concerned that humanity is not ready. His assessment is that most people lack self-control and respect for the environment. They are not spiritually mature enough to handle the secret of immortality responsibly. This is why Dr. Kubota decided to launch a second career. Around 2009, with help from one of his sons, he began writing and recording songs that encourage a healthier relationship between humans and nature. During the day, he is still a marine biologist, but at night he transforms himself into Mr. Immortal Jellyfish Man. His superhero costume consists of a white lab jacket, scarlet red gloves, red sunglasses and a red rubber hat with dangling tentacles, designed to resemble a medusa. He visits karaoke spots and performs songs such as Life Forever, Die Hard Medusa and Scarlet Medusa Chorus. His songs have been featured on national television, are available on karaoke machines across Japan, and have made him a minor Japanese celebrity. In his own words, spiritual change is needed, and the most simple way to achieve this is through song. In our two-part program, we have showcased animals that exhibit various forms of biological immortality. Although longevity is intriguing, we should keep in mind that it depends on certain ideal conditions, and these organisms are still vulnerable to external threats. The takeaway for humans is perhaps more important. Use your time on Earth wisely by discovering the purpose of your existence through striving to reconnect with your true self. Gracious viewers, it's been a delight having your company for today's program. Up next is The Life of Lord Mahavira, Refuge to the Demon King, Part 5 of 6, on Between Master and Disciples, right after Noteworthy News. May your days be blessed with joyful love and peaceful wisdom.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/AW.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/AW.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/AW.
番組は多言語放送です。放送予定は suprememastertv.com/schedule そして suprememastertv.com/AW